The segment is simply called Capitol Spotlight. We essentially put a spotlight on a member of the General Assembly and discuss some of the issues they have been working on and its impact on you and I, the Rhode Island citizen. It gives me a great deal of pleasure to welcome back a gentleman we've had the good fortune of interviewing before, the Honorable State Representative Sam Azzinaro. Representative, it's great to see you.
Thank you, Dad. Great to be back again.
Well, I know we're into the home stretch, and we'll be wrapping up session fairly soon, but it's certainly been a busy time for you and your colleagues. And I know one of the things that you have specifically worked on is some legislation that would deal with price gouging, people taking advantage of consumers here in the Ocean State. Can you bring our viewers up to date on that?
Yes, gladly. The price gouging bill, it all started with the price of gasoline in my area being 30 cents a gallon higher than the rest of the state of Rhode Island, most of the state. Anyway, in talking with Peter Kilmartin, our Attorney General, he said, you know, we don't have a price gouging bill in this state, and we would be supportive of you putting it in. So I did. I worked with our legal staff here. Price gouging is in the state of an emergency, a marketing crisis, or a federal emergency. You cannot charge an unconscionable high price for a product. Now that doesn't mean that you can't charge a larger price, but I'll give you one example. Let's say a grocery store has the only bread in the state because of whatever the emergency might be. You don't want to be charging all of our constituents $10 for a loaf of bread when it was selling for $2. Same with milk, let's say. $10 for a gallon of milk, that's a little unconscionably high.
Yeah, people would be, in that particular, and I think those are good examples you just gave, they would be taking advantage of a bad situation,
right, exactly.
Taking advantage of the consumers in making an unreasonable, or as you say, an unconscionable profit.
That's correct. That's what this is about. I'm not trying to tell any merchant what they can charge for their product, but in a state of an emergency, called by the governor or federal emergency, you cannot, for instance, plywood for an ensuing hurricane coming. If you're charging $20 a sheet of plywood, you don't charge people $100 a sheet of plywood because the supply is going to run out. Mm-hmm. So it's to protect the people of the state of Rhode Island.
Well, and again, I think that you have to keep in mind this is good consumer legislation. And, you know, you mentioned that it started with the gas prices. Interestingly enough, last week nationally, as well as here in Rhode Island, gas prices dipped a little bit, which is a good sign. Let's hope they can continue to move in that direction.
Well, again, down in Westerly, we're about 12 cents a gallon higher than what you're paying for up here in Warwick. So it just takes a little bit longer to get the word down to South County that gas is dropping. Hopefully, everybody catches on and we all come within a nickel of one another. That's basically what I look at.
Now, speaking of Westerly, I know that we've talked about this in the past, your interest in getting DMV office that was convenient and open in the Westerly area. There's certainly good news to report in that particular vein.
Absolutely. Our DMV in Westerly closed in 2008. That's the year I was elected to come up here, and I swore that I would get it back. I didn't know how I would do it, but again, Peter Kilmartin helped me out on this. And I am happy to say that our DMV will be opening this Friday, this week, 1 day a week, and it will be in the town hall. So it's been a long haul. My bill was passed in 2009, and it is now finally happening.
Now, when you say it'll open on this Friday, will it be open every consecutive Friday? Will that be the day that it's always open, or will it be floating days? What kind of schedule are the citizens looking at?
The way I understand it, it will be open every Friday. The crew from the Wakefield branch will close that branch on Friday in Wakefield. They'll be open 4 days, and they will come to Westerly, so we're not hiring any new help.
Again, it'll be just a matter of convenience. People that live or work or do business in the Westerly area can make their plans accordingly. And on Fridays, they will have the services of the DMV available to them. I also heard, too, which is good news, some of the services the DMV is offering have now been expanded to online, which is going to be good for Rhode Islanders, too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The thing of it is, you know, people in Wesley, even just traveling to Wakefield, a round trip is close to an hour's ride. So it's a matter of convenience for people that work, and we need to keep people working.
Well, and that's good news for your neighbors in Westerly. Representative, thank you so much for taking time out of what is a very busy schedule to chat with us on Capitol Spotlight.
My pleasure. Thank you.
And of course, we couldn't do it without your viewership. Thank you so much for tuning in from the third floor of the Rhode Island Capitol. I'm Dave Barber.